I scraped over 1,300 Google reviews and had AI find what customers actually care about. Let's see what Claude Code came up with. Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Shanae Washington, the CEO of Dream Forward Media, based in New Orleans, Louisiana. And today we're going to be building a workflow in Claude Code to help us do market research in our local area. So get your desktop open and let's start building. All right, you guys. So I already have the prompt loaded up here. Build a scraper of Google reviews from marketing agencies in the New Orleans and surrounding area. Create a report with the findings that highlights with what customers actually care about. And that's all we're going to put. That's going to drive me crazy. Okay. Let's see what it gives us. All right, so it's been about 17 minutes, and it built the scraper, and it's currently getting all the information from said agencies like around New Orleans, and we're just waiting for it to shoot out the report. All right, so let's see what we got. So it took roughly about an hour, a little over an hour, to actually get a result. So let's scroll down. Okay, so it created the report and they called it Praise Without Proof. So let's click on it. All right. 1,382 reviews, 13 numbers. All right. So this is very cool. So every Google review of every marketing agency in the New Orleans metro scraped and read. The industry that sells measurable results has almost no measurable results in its own reviews. And that gap is the most exploitable thing in this market. So there were 86 agencies with the Google listing, right? And the average rating was 4.91. And 1.1% of the positive reviews cite a specific number. So let's get into it. So clients write about how they felt and not exactly about what the agency did. So every review that had usable text was tagged, and it looked for some common themes. And overall, it came up with about 11 themes overall: professionalism and expertise, creative and design quality, results in ROI, personal care and relationships, communication and responsiveness, ease, trust, and peace of mind, education and guidance, local New Orleans knowledge, speed and deadlines, price and value, and reliability and follow through. Now, what's very cool is that the agency that seemed the most professional and that the work looked good, that was it. Like, those were the things that was commented most by the customers. It wasn't exactly the business outcome, which when you hear a lot of these gurus, they always tell you to lead with the outcome, which I do agree with, actually, to lead with the outcome. But it's honestly those soft skills when it comes to the customer experience that matters more than the outcome. Because if you're giving them a bad experience, they don't really care that the outcome was as you said it would. You may get a shitty review just based off your attitude or based off how you do business versus the actual work that you put in. So let's keep going. All right, the results gap. 268 positive reviews. Those mention the outcome in some kind of results, growth, leads, or rankings. Almost none of them say how much. Only 13 reviews in the entire scrape contain a specific number, whether it's a percentage, a multiple, a lead count, or a ranking. Only 13 out of 1,300 actually said, this agency helped me increase blank percent in X amount of days or something like that. It's all it's saying. So let's see. So the ones that said something, we received 241 new leads in our CRM in 1 month. Our cost per lead dropped by almost 40% after they took over from our previous setup. That's an amazing review. We've had a 300% increase in web traffic and inquiries. We now get 50 calls a month, a near 30% increase in new patient inquiries. I don't know why that word trips me up. When compared to Q1 of last year. And here's a part that's cool too. It said why this is the opening. 3 firms account for 6 of the 13 numeric reviews. That's not by accident of who actually has the better clients. So when you're looking for who your competition is, right? Because we have different levels to our competitors. We have the ones that are performing at a very higher, at a much higher level than we may be performing right now. And then we have those that are truly our peers and we're performing about what and what. And that's typically how we view our competition, right? We look at the ones that's performing much better than us as inspiration and not so much as a competitor. And we look at the ones that's doing about the same as us, even maybe just a little bit better. We view them as direct competition. So this is actually telling that out of all those 86 agencies that were included in this, only 6 of the firms gave these great, their clients actually gave these great reviews. All right, let's keep going. People hire a person, not a firm. Just over half of the positive reviews, 51%, refer to a specific individual by name or pronoun rather than the company. That's telling too. He is as invested in my success of my practice as I am. Lakin, I hope I'm saying her name right, is gifted in her profession and made me feel like she truly cares for me and the success of my business. This is LA Creative Marketing. Note what neither quote mentions: a deliverable, a channel, a number. It's just the trust that the person who they worked with built during that transaction or during their time together. All right, let's see. What actually goes wrong? These are where the bad reviews come in. Money and basic manners. I was just telling you about that. The part that's actually standing out to me is that out of all of those reviews, only 12 reviews were 1 to 2 stars. Now, Claude said that it's too low to be considered statistical. So they said to treat this section as directional. But the pattern in them is unusually consistent. It does not match what all of the praise is about. And then it goes in to tell you that the two biggest things were price and billing and reliability and follow through. But overall, money is the only thing meaningfully overweighted in the complaints. And the specific complaints, it was never that it was too expensive. It was things like billing that continued after the client thought that it was stopping, or that costs that were not quoted in the beginning popped up during their service. Like, you can't do that to people, But anyways, but hidden costs, those things are always going to be red flags and things that customers will ding you on for sure. And follow up and follow through. They didn't answer the phone when I called. 1-star review. Reached out via their web chat feature with the question. They never replied. 1-star review. So you got an unnecessary 1-star review, all because you didn't follow up with the people. Why do you have a web chat feature on your website if there's no way for you to chat live with people? Just take it off. Just have them send an email. Crazy. But anywho, the next section, it says that star ratings have stopped carrying information. If a potential client is comparing agencies in the local area based on these Google ratings alone, they can't. The score does not really separate anybody. Like, you would have to really be doing like some kind of real investigation before you spending your money, which in most cases, a lot of them are not doing that, which is why we have consultations and things like that. But this is telling. What separates listings is the volume, the recency, and whether the reviews say anything. And on that last measure, most of this market is competing with 30-word pleasantries. And Claude is pretty much saying you can reply to the people if you want to, in terms of the ones that gave like bad reviews. Replying to them does not typically raise the rating. You can do it to show, remorse or professionalism for like the next person that's doing research, but don't do it hoping that these people are going to change their review, because it's probably a hard no. Damage already done. So the next part is that it takes all of what we talked about and summarizes it for you. What to do about it. 1, ask for the number in the review request. Like, what is the tangible result that you were able to deliver? Put a named human on in the review. So if Sally worked with you, put her name. If Shanae worked with you, put my name in it. Answer the phone and treat it as marketing. Make cancellation and billing terms loud. Make them sign and initial that shit. Sell in plain language. 2.2% of reviews praise an agency for making things understandable. Right? So clarity is a form of positioning for your brand. And the last thing is name the relief, not the deliverable. So this is pretty cool. So it did all of that from that simple prompt. Because remember, the prompt was only build a scraper of Google reviews from marketing agencies in the New Orleans and surrounding area. Create a report with the findings that highlights what customers actually care about. And this is a pretty complete report. And I would then take this report and then probably in like the chat section, because that's where I do a lot of my brainstorming. In the chat portion of Claude, I would then take it and then try to see specifically, one, if I could make content around this, which like this YouTube video I'm doing right now, and two, how can I actively integrate the parts that are relevant to me and my business, right? So that was it. This thing took maybe about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So that's it. I see a lot of videos in these Instagram and YouTube streets about making AI act as your marketing department, right? And some of them will even show you how to make projects in Claude and agents in ChatGPT. However, it's important to talk about using AI in our marketing from a traditional marketing standpoint. My degree is in marketing. I've worked in marketing agencies, even got as high as a creative services director in an agency. And then I started my own agency, Dream Forward Media. And marketing is so much more than just creating content. It's so much more than just creating social media content. And that's why there's whole marketing departments that have various roles with different tasks to fulfill in said roles. Like what we did today was market research, right? But you have brand strategy, you have creative work, you have content, you have social media, you have paid media, you got SEO, AEO, email, what else? You have product marketing, if you sell products. You have like you need someone for sales systems. That's like your assets, like proposals and case studies and all of that stuff. Analytics. You need marketing operations. You need PR. You need somebody for events. Like, notice I said all of that and I said nothing about sales. Nothing. That is a whole department on its own. And the sales department gets its assets and its leads from the marketing department. So, look, y'all, there is so much more to marketing that your agent or your ChatGPT or Claude can do. And you are underutilizing it, but you don't know what you don't know. But I always say that you yourself, you need to know the basic fundamentals of what all these different roles do. Most of us are solo doloing out here and drowning. But if you know what these different roles are responsible for or what they can be responsible for in your business, then you know how to equip yourself and set up your AI to do these things, or even to hire out people to do these things. But you don't know what you don't know, so you got to find out. So, if you found this helpful, please like this video. If you want to learn more about how to dig deeper into using AI for your marketing beyond just social media and creating content, hit the subscribe button for me. That way I'll know that you're interested in this. And don't worry, we're going to do like some social media content, because it's not my favorite part of marketing, but with AI, I have been enjoying it a lot more. I don't know if like y'all know, I'm like very socially awkward, and doing content for the sake of doing content, it literally makes my ass itch. But with the help of AI, I've been enjoying the process a lot more. Anyways, but we will create some social media content using AI, and I'll show you some of the cool stuff I could do. But like LL Cool J said, it's a deeper level if you follow my lead. I may be telling my age right now, but that's okay. See y'all next time. I'm Shanae Washington, the CEO of Dream Forward.